Welcome to Survival 101. For the last 150 years, we've been preparing ourselves to ensure our survival in the open. Let's begin with basic knowledge about our environmental conditions. In Endzone, a world apart, you'll have to deal with 4 different levels of humidity, from arid to extremely humid. Especially extreme heat is going to be a big problem. The resulting drought will lead to desiccated soil, withered and dried up plants, bare trees, and worst of all, a ruined harvest. A life-threatening situation, indeed. To counteract this, we invented the irrigation plant. It increases soil moisture in its immediate vicinity, protecting your crop in periods of drought. As if these calamities weren't enough, a drought will also drain lakes, completely stopping our water supply dead in its tracks. Wells will be your only chance to secure a steady availability of water. Although drawing water from a well is going to be a tedious process. One of the biggest dangers a drought carries with it are sandstorms, a brute elemental force that can devastate our settlement in the blink of an eye. Major setbacks are imminent. For instance, restricted movement for our people and damaged buildings, all the way to their total destruction. Damaged buildings might stop functioning and would have to be repaired. What's far worse, sandstorms cause existing radioactive contamination to spread even more. What can we learn from this? Always keep track of the weather situation to avoid being caught off guard. Welcome to the next chapter of the Endzone Survival Guide. Today's topic is radiation. We categorize radiation into 4 different levels: non-irradiated, light, medium, and highly irradiated. First of all, how can radiation be detected? In Endzone, a world apart, you can recognize radiation by many factors. The more irradiated an area is, mutated plants appear more frequently. The more your Geiger counter is acoustically noticeable, and the edge of your screen turns more and more blue. Alternatively, you can also use the radiation map to see exactly how much radiation an area is exposed to. The radiation in Endzone is not static, but changes dynamically due to environmental influences, especially sandstorms and radioactive rain. Radiation can contaminate our drinking water, poisoning or even killing our settlers. You can counteract this with the help of carbon filters. Rain collectors should always be covered with a plastic sheet when the rain is contaminated. Your weather station will inform you in advance about the level of radiation for upcoming seasons. Just like water, the soil, the fields you cultivate, or the animals you hunt can also be irradiated. If your settlers consume contaminated water, eat contaminated food, or stay too long in contaminated areas, they can themselves become contaminated, and thus become sick, or even infertile, and, in the worst case, they die. To prevent this, you must have the ground in your settlement dug up regularly to reduce the level of radiation. You should also produce protective clothing, such as coal masks or radiation suits for your settlers. In your town center, the distribution of clothes to your settlers can be regulated. I think that's enough new information for today. Memorize these important lessons carefully. The survival of your entire settlement depends on it. Take good care of yourself. Next time, we will talk about electricity in Endzone a world apart. Welcome back to another helpful chapter of our Endzone survival guide. Today's topic is all about electricity. Let's begin this lesson with the introduction of our specially designed solar collector. This marvel of technology produces a specified amount of solar energy to power buildings connected to the network. It's beautiful, isn't it? And the easiest way to distribute power within our settlement are power lines, wooden poles that connect the solar collector with appropriate buildings, resulting in one big electrical grid. But you've got to be careful when extending the electrical grid. If the connected buildings consume too much power, the electrical grid is at risk of overloading. In case of emergency, you have to act fast and decommission expendable buildings. Therefore, always keep an eye on your overall power consumption. The main benefit of buildings connected to the electrical grid is that their working efficiency gets a significant boost on both day and nighttime. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about solar collectors. They only generate electricity when the sun is up, which can be quite troublesome every now and then. No need to panic though. Of course, we have a solution for this as well. The battery. A battery allows us to store excess energy during daytime, feeding it back into the network at night to secure a steady power supply for all of us. With the excess power of our batteries, we're able to burn the candle at both ends. To see our settlement ablaze with light, even at night, lifts the mood and has a favorable effect on our people's mind. A glimmer of hope in an otherwise grim world. And that's it for today. I'll see you next time when it says again, Endzone, a world apart survival guide. Stay safe, everyone.